Hi everybody, good morning to you. Meteorologist Travis Klineski here on this hump day. It's Wednesday, it is October 2nd. As we look at what's in store for today, well, we've got a couple of things. First off, a few clouds around. These are mostly upper level clouds and they're just a little bit thicker over northern Nebraska, north central Nebraska. Winds are going to be picking up. They're already a touch breezy in spots, but they're going to be picking up today out of the south-southwest. So breezy winds expected, but notice a bit of a divide right here. There is going to be a little bit of a surface trough kind of in this general area here. Should be drawn in black, but I don't have time to change the color on that. But you get the general idea of where it is there. And there's also a cold front up towards the north. It's these areas out west where there's that westerly wind. Those areas are really going to heat up today here with that downsloping wind coming in from higher elevation to lower elevation. When that happens, when that air sinks in elevation, it compresses and it heats up, and so that's why the warmest temperatures will be there. It'll be quite warm here as well, but it's going to be a little on the hot side here. Up north, an approaching cold front will be diving south tonight, bringing a couple of clouds and a wind shift as we get towards tomorrow morning. North and northeasterly winds, southeasterly winds over southeastern areas. A couple of clouds around. We'll actually see a few more clouds later in the day tomorrow behind the cold front. It will be cooler tomorrow behind the front, and it will be rather breezy, if not a little on the windy side. Those north and northeast winds, they'll be up there in that 10 to 20 mile an hour range. Some gusts up to around 25, 30 miles per hour again tomorrow. So a little on the windy side out there as you see those winds. Those winds will come down a little bit then Thursday night and Friday morning. Skies will be clearing out, and that's actually going to lead to kind of a chilly night. Some of your coolest temperatures will be right in here where the winds will be very, very light. Still a slight breeze in southeastern areas, so not quite as cold here. A red flag warning again in place. This is the same areas that were under a red flag warning yesterday. This will be in place. Some places it's actually already in effect. This is going to go until this evening, and the wildfire threat could be a little higher in these spots due to very dry conditions and a little bit of a breeze out there, although the winds won't be terribly strong, maybe a little stronger towards O'Neill and Ainsworth, but the very dry, low relative humidity this afternoon, especially in these locations here. Temperature-wise, we're going to see a big warm-up today, mid to upper 80s and lower 90s. Again, those warmest temperatures right in here because of that wind. That wind's going to be more westerly right in here. I can't draw it in really well, but it's there. Whereas more of a southwesterly wind here, and then winds turning more northerly right up here in the northern part of the state. As we get into tonight, we dip back into the 40s and lower 50s for overnight lows, most of us in the mid to upper 40s. Tomorrow, not as hot out there. We'll see temperatures topping out in the 70s, and there will still be some low and mid 80s due to that cold front taking its time in southeastern areas. So a little bit warmer in southeast Nebraska, north central, northeast Kansas into the 80s. But most of us will see highs in the 70s, maybe even a couple of upper 60s here to the north and northwest. Tomorrow night, then, here comes the chill as the winds die down. We're going to drop back into the 30s and 40s, some of the coldest spots where the winds will be lightest right in here. Friday itself, we warm back up mid to upper 70s, some possible low 80s out there on Friday. Notice a little more warmth out west, and we are going to see the heat build back eastward for a day at least on Saturday. In fact, already Saturday morning could be quite mild out there. Saturday itself, look at these highs. Now, northwestern areas already we have cool air approaching, so not quite as hot here. Upper 80s around North Platte, upper 80s and lower 90s in the Tri-Cities. Mid 90s right in here. Whew. Gonna be a hot one for the Husker game. Hot and windy conditions at Memorial Stadium for that game Saturday afternoon at Memorial Stadium. Let's take a look at that extended forecast as we are going to see, again, warm temperatures today, a little cooler Thursday and Friday, still above average but cooler, and then we heat right back up. It's a mild start to our Saturday in the upper 50s. Don't even have to bundle up much going to downtown Grand Island for the Harvest of Harmony Parade. And the thing is, some of those bands, especially later on, some of those kids will be sweating it out in their band uniforms Saturday late morning for those that are performing a little later in the morning compared to the 8:30 start for some. But it's going to be a very, very, very warm, windy day out there on Saturday. It does cool back down a little bit, though, behind that next front Sunday and Monday. Kind of starting to warm back up, though, Tuesday, as we do see the heat try to build back in a little bit as we look towards the middle of the week. Unfortunately, no moisture over the next 7 days and probably even beyond. Probably looking out till at least the middle of October before we see any chance of rain returning at all. So, again, you can see it there. We warm up today. We're cooling back down a little bit Thursday and Friday. And then we heat back up on Saturday into the upper 80s and lower 90s. We come back down Sunday and Monday, but then we start to warm back up. More consistent 80s returning down the road. North Platte, low 90s today. Then it's down into the 70s in the next couple of days. The wind's cranking up, especially tomorrow. Saturday, not quite as hot, but we'll go upper 80s on Saturday. And then it's back down to the 70s on Sunday. And then starting to curve back up Monday and Tuesday. And you see that curve will eventually settle into the mid and upper 80s as we head through most of next week. So again, very warm today, maybe the warmest day of the next 10. And then temperatures coming down tomorrow and Friday, heating back up a little bit on Saturday, coming back down Sunday, and then working our way back up Monday and beyond as we head through next week. In fact, when we look a week out, days 8 through 14, that takes us from October 9th through the 15th of October. The Climate Prediction Center, no major changes. We are likely to see above average highs. And by the time we get to mid-October, our averages are down in the 60s. So we're going to be way above that, more than likely, and it will continue to be on the dry side. Unfortunately, we are very, very likely to be below average precipitation here in that time frame. In fact, as you look at here, the European model, barely any chance of moisture at all over the next 10 days. There is not much in store for our area. And that takes us all the way through basically the end of next week right there. The GFS isn't much different. You can see it there. Most days are going to be fairly sunny, very few clouds, not much for moisture chances. Those chances are very, very slim all the way through the end of next week. Now, hoping maybe we can cool down for that next weekend. We'll see how things go there. Let's look at the European model when it comes to temperature trends. Again, quite warm today. Here comes the cooler air tomorrow and Friday. The brief warm up then moving in Saturday, but already behind that comes the next shot of cooler air Sunday and Monday. Excuse me, and then heating back up for most of the rest of next week. No signs of any cooler air through the beginning of next weekend, which would take us to, I believe, I'm going to have to look this up. I think it's the 13th. No, the 12th of October. So really at that point, what we'd be watching for is this right in here to see if that maybe affects us maybe towards next Sunday or Monday around the 13th, 14th, 15th of the month. It's a long ways out that you have to wait for any kind of big shots of cool air and maybe some moisture. So again, looking at the GFS model here, again, we warm up today, quite warm today, and then cooling down for Thursday and Friday. That temporary heat building in Saturday, going to be a pretty hot day for most of us, but all right, behind that hot air comes cooler air Sunday and Monday. Then we warm right back up for most of the rest of next week here. As we take this all the way through next weekend, or the beginning of next weekend, I should say, we're going to see plenty of warmth ahead all the way down the road. No shots of any cool air coming down the road. So I think we're kind of in a very similar weather pattern. There are occasional shots of cool air, but overall above average highs, below average moisture. That's not going to change anytime soon. Well, thank you all for watching on this Wednesday morning. I'll be back with you on Thursday with all of the latest. Until then, hope you have a wonderful Wednesday. Take care and God bless. Bye.